Afternoon. It's always been a hard thing as a criminal defense attorney to stand up in front of a jury who has found against me at the first phase of the trial, wonder what's going on in your minds, and try to figure out how I can reach you for the second phase of the trial. And all we can do here is point you to all the testimony you've heard in this entire trial and take you back to this jury charge and ask you to consider everything. And one of the things that you haven't heard from us during this entire trial is any disagreement, any quarrel, any objection to the fact that Jordan Edwards was an exceptional kid. We didn't raise a single objection. We let the state call anybody they wanted to call, and we let them prove that till they were through proving it in their minds. But the important fact that you need to take back in that jury room with you is this, and that is that on April 29th of 2017, Roy Oliver did not know. He did not know. What was going on at that time? Roy was reacting to a threat. This jury charge tells you to look into the entire facts and circumstances of the case. And those are the circumstances that the state of Texas brought you in this case. They brought you the fact that all of this happened in a split second. We heard in this jury charge, you heard that there's a facet of the law called a sudden passion charge. If the person on trial acted under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause, it changes the punishment range for the offense of murder. Because things that happen under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause are different than cold-blooded, premeditated, planned murders. And in this case, all the testimony in front of you, from the first state's witness to the last one this afternoon, was that this happened in a split second while Roy was defending his partner. That it happened, it was an anonymous transaction. He didn't know who Jordan Edwards was. He was reacting like he believed his general orders, his training, and his experience, and his loyalty and fidelity as a police officer to his partner caused him to act. You heard in this jury charge that the punishment range for murder is not less than 5 years or more than 99 years of life, and the punishment range for sudden passion during under an adequate cause is from not less than 2 or more than 20. You know also from this jury charge that at some point a person who gets sentenced to a criminal offense in the state of Texas might, in the exact words of the jury charge, be eligible for parole. You heard some misinformation from the witness stand a few minutes ago that if Roy got a 5-year sentence, he'd be out in 2.5 years. That's not true according to this jury charge. What that means is that he might be eligible for parole. But something you also have to take into consideration is that he is a former police officer going to the Texas penitentiary system. Roy Oliver's time in the Texas penitentiary system is going to be an excruciatingly long period of time, no matter what it is. The sudden passion arising from an cause, consideration that's in front of you, only has to be proven by the defense by a preponderance of the evidence. Preponderance of the evidence is defined here as a greater weight of credible evidence. That means that the scales of justice, it just has to be tipped. There just has to be an iota more of evidence to constitute preponderance of evidence, to allow Roy the benefit of that, or the benefit of what the law recognizes is the facts of this case. It was almost written for the facts of this case. He testified that he was afraid that his partner was going to be run over, that there was a threat out there, there was an adequate cause, that it happened right then and there. It wasn't the result of any form of provocation. It couldn't have been. He had no idea who these people were or why they were there. And what you have to remember, most of all, is that most of the chain of these events were outside of Roy Oliver's control. He didn't send himself out to this party on April 29th of 2017. He was dispatched by his police department. He was dispatched by his police department because the police department got a call from a concerned citizen out there. And his department armed him, and his department put Tyler Gross out there for him to back up. And someone fired some gunshots. And someone put those officers into active shooter mode. And Roy Oliver reacted to that. And Roy Oliver is now being judged on a split second of his life. One of the important things that people always want to know when they're judging a case, a court case, an offense, something we hear on the news. The news is always going to speak of, the police are still trying to figure out what the motive was for this person's actions. What was Roy Oliver's motive? What was it? Was it vengeance? Was it hatred? It wasn't any of those things. His motive was to protect his partner. And if we have a wide punishment range, 2 to 20 years, it's reserved for an offense such as this, where does this belong? He was protecting his partner. That was his whole motive. That was why this happened. He was reacting to a tragic chain of events, and he was protecting his partner. The state of Texas is going to tell you that he's evil, and he's twisted, and whatever else they're going to tell you. But that just isn't the case. You heard from the people that know him best. And they said Roy is a good father. He's good around people. He's good around kids. He loves kids. He loves animals. He loves his family. And that's the man that you're here to judge this afternoon. Yeah, his sister came down here and said he deserves a life sentence. They might as well have gone and got someone off a bus stop to come in here and say that. Because that's about how well she knows Roy Oliver. She has the name, and that's all she has. The people that know him best told you what kind of a man he is. And ladies and gentlemen, all we're asking you to do is to take into consideration all the facts and circumstances of this case, and to take into consideration who Roy Oliver is, and render your verdict accordingly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.